Hey there, before you book any cruise, you might want to listen up, especially if you're traveling with family like I was. Speaking from experience, I've got some stories you won't want to miss. This was supposed to be our dream family vacation. We had saved for months, and the kids were so excited they could barely sit still. But a few simple mistakes turned our dream cruise into a full-blown comedy of errors. I'm talking about mishaps so ridiculous, you just had to laugh to keep from crying into a cocktail that you definitely paid too much for. In this video, we're going to walk you through the 7 biggest blunders we made so you can avoid our hilarious and sometimes very expensive mistakes. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be booking your next cruise like a seasoned pro. Our vacation might have gone a little sideways, but yours doesn't have to. Our first mistake, and the one that kicked off all the others, was falling for the classic trap. We saw a price online that looked too good to be true, and we booked it instantly. We were high-fiving, thinking we'd totally cracked the code. The reality check came on day 1. That rock-bottom price was literally just the cost to get on the boat. That's it. You want Wi-Fi to post that perfect sunset picture? That's extra. The kids want a soda with dinner? Extra. That good coffee I desperately needed every morning? You guessed it, extra. It hit us pretty fast that our bargain cruise was anything but. We ended up bleeding money on board for things we just assumed were included. So here's the fix, and it's simple. Look past the sticker price. Budget cruises can be amazing, but you have to know what you're actually getting. Before you click book, dig into what's included. You might find that a slightly more expensive cruise line, or even a pricier fare package, already includes drinks, Wi-Fi, and specialty dining. Spending a little more upfront can save you a ton of money and stress later. It's not about the price, it's about the value. To stick with our cheapest is best strategy. We booked what's called a guarantee cabin. This just means you're guaranteed a room in a certain category, but the cruise line picks the exact spot for you. We figured, how bad can it be? Oh man, we ended up in a cabin directly under the Lido deck, the 24/7 buffet and pool area. Our wake-up call every morning at 5 a.m. was the sound of heavy deck chairs being dragged across our ceiling, and our nights were just a muffled bass line from whatever party was happening upstairs. It felt like we were trying to sleep inside a bowling alley. Any money we saved on that room, we paid for with our sanity. The lesson here is that your cabin's location really matters. If you're a light sleeper or just like a little peace and quiet, don't leave it to chance. Before you book, pull up the ship's deck plan. Steer clear of cabins right above or below high traffic spots like nightclubs, kitchens, or the pool deck. Sometimes, paying a little extra to pick your exact room is the best investment you can make for the whole trip. This next one almost ended our vacation before it even started. We decided to fly into our port city on the morning of the cruise. Our flight was set to land 4 hours before the ship sailed. Seemed like plenty of time, right? Wrong. A random thunderstorm popped up and grounded every flight. We sat on the tarmac for 2 agonizing hours, just watching the clock tick closer and closer to that final boarding time. By the time we landed, we were in a full-blown panic. We grabbed our bags, sprinted through the airport, and hopped into the most expensive taxi of our lives, basically begging the driver to floor it. We made it to the port, completely out of breath and stressed out of our minds, with just minutes to spare. It was a terrible way to start a vacation. So here's the golden rule of cruising: always fly in the day before your ship leaves. Delays and cancellations are just too common to risk it. Arriving a day early gives you a huge buffer for any travel drama and lets you start your vacation relaxed, not terrified that you're about to watch your ship sail away without you. Alright, if these stories are starting to hit a little too close to home, or if you're getting terrified this might be you, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel and lets us know we're helping you avoid these same travel landmines. Once we got on the ship, we felt this weird pressure to have the perfect planned out day in every port. So, we marched down to the shore excursions desk and booked a ship-sponsored tour for every single stop. It felt easy, and honestly, it felt safe. But wow, it was also incredibly expensive. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars here. The funny part was, in our second port, we paid a ton for a guided beach escape. We got off the bus, walked onto the sand, and saw a bunch of other families from our ship who had just walked 10 minutes from the port or paid a local taxi $5 to get to the exact same public beach. They were enjoying the same sun and water for a tiny fraction of what we paid. Here's the pro tip. You don't have to book the cruise line's official tour in every port. Seriously, just do a little homework before you go. A lot of ports have amazing beaches, shops, and sites that are super easy to get to on your own. And for bigger adventures, look into reputable local tour companies. They often have smaller groups and much better prices. Just make sure you know exactly what time you need to be back at the ship. Before our trip, our inbox was flooded with emails offering pre-purchase discounts on drink packages and Wi-Fi. We ignored all of them thinking, nah, we'll just figure it out once we're on board. That was a big mistake. The second we stepped on that ship, the prices for those exact same packages were way higher. So there we were, standing in a long line at guest services, burning our precious vacation time just to pay the full inflated price for stuff we could have bought from our couch for a discount a week earlier. It was so frustrating and a total waste of time and money. The takeaway is simple. Book your add-ons before you sail. Whether it's a drink package, internet, a reservation at a specialty restaurant, or a spa treatment, it's almost always cheaper to buy it through the cruise line's website ahead of time. Plus, the popular stuff sells out, so booking early means you actually get what you want and you get it at a better price. Thankfully, this next blunder didn't stop us from getting on the ship, but it was dangerously close. A few weeks before we left, my wife had a sudden panic and decided to double-check our passports. It turned out our youngest kid's passport was set to expire 5 months after our trip. We figured that was no big deal. Well, a lot of countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months after your travel date. We were just inside that danger zone. This kicked off a frantic and very expensive scramble to get an expedited passport renewal. It was stress we absolutely did not need. So please check your documents. Before you even book the cruise, look at the expiration dates on everyone's passports. Make sure you have at least 6 months of validity after your trip ends. Also, check if any of your ports of call require special visas. Getting this wrong isn't just an inconvenience. You can be denied boarding with no refund. It's the one mistake that can kill your vacation before it even begins. As first-time cruisers, we honestly had this idea that once you paid for the cruise, that was it. You were done spending money. We pictured ourselves just living it up for a week without ever having to pull out our wallets. But the reality was more like a slow drip of extra charges that led to a pretty nasty surprise on our final bill. That steakhouse that looks so good? Yeah, that's extra. The fun yoga class my wife wanted to try? Extra. Even the automatic daily tips for the crew, which they absolutely deserve, weren't something we had properly budgeted for. We completely fell for the all-inclusive illusion. You have to understand that most big cruise lines are not truly all-inclusive. Your fare gets you your room, your food in the main dining rooms and buffet, and basic drinks like water and iced tea. You need to budget for the rest: specialty restaurants, alcohol, soda, tours, the spa, and tips. Knowing this going in takes the shock out of that final bill and lets you plan a realistic budget for your vacation. So there they are, our 7 biggest cruise mistakes out in the open. From the way we booked it, to our noisy cabin, to that final bill, we pretty much made every rookie error possible. But the funny thing is, looking back, we still had a good time. We learned a ton, and we made some weird memories that we can definitely laugh about now. The point of all this isn't to scare you away from cruising, it's to get you ready. A cruise can absolutely be that dream vacation as long as you go into it with your eyes open. A little bit of planning makes all the difference and will save you money, stress, and a whole lot of headaches. What's the biggest cruise mistake you've ever made? Or what are you most worried about for your first one? Let us know in the comments below. We really do read all of them. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own cruise mistakes in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories.